He was still inside me when her name lit up his phone. Her name was not saved. Just a number. But I recognized it. I had seen it once, months ago, reflected in his sunglasses when he took a selfie on the beach while I was still asleep next to him. That same number. I remembered because my gut refused to forget it. His breath was warm on my neck, our bodies still tangled, the sheets a sweaty mess beneath us. I heard the vibration before I saw the screen flash. He did not notice at first. His eyes were closed, a satisfied smile on his lips. I reached for his phone, half naked and trembling. I opened the message. I still taste you on my lips. Last night was everything. He was inside me, while she still lingered on his tongue. And that, my beautiful audience, was the moment my soul cracked in two. Thank you for subscribing to this channel and riding this emotional roller coaster with me. To all my returning viewers, thank you for staying loyal. And if you are new here or watching without subscribing, I cannot wait for you to hit that button. It is your support that fuels this channel. Please do not forget to comment below. Tell me, how many times have you forgiven a liar? Now, let me take you back to where it all began. My name is Elena Moore. I am 35 years old. I am a wedding photographer with a soft spot for love stories that end well. My husband's name is Cameron Moore. He is a real estate broker in Atlanta, Georgia. Tall, clean-shaven, suits that never wrinkle, and a smile that melts cold hearts. I used to think he was my soulmate. We met at a college football party in Athens when I was 20 and drunk on too many tequila shots. He kissed me during a game of truth or dare, and I never kissed anyone else for the next 14 years. 14 years. That is how long I gave him every piece of me. We bought a home in a quiet suburb outside Atlanta. A 2-story colonial with white shutters and a red door. People said we were the dream couple, 2 golden retrievers, dinner parties, Christmas cards. But every dream has a crack you do not see until it splits open. The first time I noticed something was wrong, it was not a lipstick stain or perfume. It was silence. Cameron started coming home later, always with a reason. Late showings, market meetings, client dinners. He used to text me photos during the day, houses, awkward selfies in front of new listings, even silly thinking of you notes on Post-its. But one day, they just stopped. I remember the dinner that changed everything. I made his favorite, rosemary chicken with roasted potatoes and green beans. He walked in 2 hours late, barely kissed me, and said he had already eaten with a client. Asked for a name. He hesitated, then said, "You don't know her. New investor." I smiled. I nodded, but something in me felt like it was rotting. That night, he made love to me with urgency, not passion. His hands were present, but his eyes were distant. Afterward, he turned to the side, fell asleep, and started snoring before I even wiped my tears. You do not want to believe the person you sleep beside is lying to you. You tell yourself it is work stress. You tell yourself that love is supposed to feel different after a decade. You tell yourself anything but the truth. I started checking his pockets. His cologne changed. He bought new boxers. He suddenly cared about skincare. One day, while folding laundry, I found a hotel receipt in his pants. The Hyatt in Midtown. One night. Room 915. No meetings in that area. No real estate showings either. The date on the receipt? Our anniversary. Still, I did not confront him. I made excuses for him, the way women often do. Maybe he needed space. Maybe it was a work event that ran late. Maybe he was planning a surprise. I stayed quiet, and in that silence, I began to lose myself. That message, the one I read with his sweat still on my skin, was the proof I could not ignore. It was the ghost behind his eyes. It was the missing affection, the quick showers after late nights, the locked phone. I got up from the bed, without saying a word. I walked into the bathroom, locked the door, and sank to the floor. I read that message over and over. I still taste you on my lips. Last night was everything. My husband was not just cheating. He was loving someone else while pretending to love me. And that was just the beginning. I did not cry the day I found the proof. I bled. Not from my skin, but from somewhere deeper. From the part of me that still believed in promises. From the part that thought if you loved someone long enough, they would never leave you gasping for truth. The morning after I saw that message, I did not scream. I did not throw his phone or call the number back. Instead, I did what women like me are taught to do. I acted like everything was fine. I made coffee. I folded his socks. I kissed him goodbye with the same lips he had kissed another woman with. But inside me, a storm had already begun. And storms do not ask for permission. The next few days, I became an expert at smiling. I laughed at his jokes. I even helped him pick out a tie for a networking mixer. I watched him lie to my face with the same mouth that had once vowed forever in front of my parents. But I was not just watching. I was learning. I started opening his mail. I memorized the password to his email. I checked the GPS history in his car. Every breadcrumb led me closer to the truth. And the truth was ugly. The networking mixer was a dinner at Delilah's, a rooftop bar downtown. The receipt showed 2 entrees, a bottle of wine, and 1 dessert with 2 spoons. I knew Cameron hated dessert. He always said sugar made him sluggish. I also found a Lyft receipt. Pick up from Delilah's. Drop off at the W Hotel. That same night, he came home with lipstick on his shirt collar. The color? Nude. Just enough to be discreet. Not enough to be invisible. I took that shirt. I folded it. I sprayed it with the same cologne he wore the night he proposed. Then I buried it in the back of my closet like a corpse. The confrontation happened 3 nights later. I had reached my edge, and when a woman like me reaches her edge, she does not fall, she pushes. He was in the shower when I entered the bathroom. His phone was charging on the counter, unlocked. He had grown careless. That was the thing about liars. They always think they are smarter than the truth. The text thread was still open. Her name was Ava. No last name. No emojis. Just pure, raw exchanges. Ava, I miss how you hold my neck when you kiss me. Cameron, your skin is still on my tongue. I am thinking about that mirror at the W. Ava, tell her. Or I will. I took a screenshot. Sent it to my own phone. Then I walked over to the shower and opened the glass door. The steam hit my face, but it did not burn half as much as my chest. He turned around, smiling. Water running down his back. He looked innocent. I showed him the screen. His smile broke. He did not deny it. He did not lie. Not this time. Instead, he said, it was not physical at first. That is what they always say, is it not? It started emotional. I did not mean to fall for her. I just needed someone to talk to. You were so busy. You stopped looking at me the way you used to. And somehow, it became my fault. I stood there, soaked in steam and rage. I wanted to slap him. I wanted to scream. But I did not. I just said, how long? He answered, 6 months. I laughed. I laughed so hard I nearly collapsed. Not because it was funny, but because 6 months ago, I had taken him to meet my mother at the hospital. She was dying, and he had stood next to me, hand on my back, whispering, I got you. 6 months. He had me and her. After the confession, I did something no one expected. I forgave him. Not because I was weak. Not because I believed him. I forgave him because I needed time. And forgiveness bought me silence. It bought me access. It bought me strategy. We went to therapy. He cried. I cried. He promised. I begged. He said Ava meant nothing. That it was over. He deleted her number. Changed his phone passcode. Took me on a weekend trip to the mountains and made love to me like he was trying to erase her from his skin. But even in those kisses, I could taste her. I could feel the echo of her fingernails in the way he grabbed my hips. I could hear her name in the pauses between his moans. Forgiveness does not come clean. It comes with splinters. I was willing to fight for us until I found out who Ava really was. Ava Richards. She used to work for me. She was a second shooter on my wedding photography team. Young. Pretty in that fresh, untouched kind of way. Big brown eyes. Soft voice. Always complimented my marriage. She once brought me coffee during a wedding gig and said, "I hope I get to love someone the way you love Cameron." I fired her 3 months ago for showing up late and making excuses. Now I understood the excuses. She was late because she was busy sleeping with my husband, the woman I mentored, the girl I trusted, the assistant who saw us kissing behind the lens and said, "You two are goals." She was taking notes, not photographs. I confronted Cameron again. He denied knowing who she was. "I swear I did not realize she worked for you. I met her through a client." She never said. That was the second lie. And the second time I forgave him. Silently. Because sometimes silence is louder than screaming. But I had made a decision. I was not going to keep bleeding for a man who kissed his mistakes with open eyes. I was not ready to leave yet, but I was ready to plan my exit. And sometimes planning takes patience. What he did not know was this. I had started documenting everything. Every text, every receipt, every email, because the next betrayal would not just break me, it would bury him. They say forgiveness is noble, but they never tell you that real forgiveness has teeth. It bites. It scars. And if you are not careful, it teaches the liar how to lie better next time. I thought I was healing. I thought I was rebuilding my marriage. But what I was really doing was rebuilding the illusion. Brick by brick. Lie by lie. And he was handing me the bricks with a smile on his face. Cameron was good again for a while. He was home early. He took me on dates. He deleted social media. He gave me full access to his calendar, started therapy on his own, and even cried in front of my mother's old locket one night while whispering, "I never wanted to hurt you." But every time he said that, I would remember Ava's message. "I still taste you on my lips." And I knew he had hurt me, because he wanted to, because he could, because he thought I would forgive him again. He was right. I did forgive him, but I never said I would stay. In public, I was still Elena Moore, the photographer with the picture-perfect marriage. In private, I became something else. I started lifting weights, boxing, therapy 3 times a week. I cut my hair short, dyed it black, and stopped asking him where he had been. Because I already knew. You learn a lot when you stop begging for honesty and start watching instead. I hired a private investigator, a quiet, professional woman named Tanya. She was good. Too good. Within 4 weeks, I had a folder that would make any divorce judge raise their eyebrows. Receipts. GPS logs.
Vidéosurveillance.
And the final twist. Ava was pregnant. 3 months. That was the bullet. But what killed me was the date on the sonogram. The night she conceived was the same night Cameron and I had renewed our vows on our 10th anniversary. I wore white. He wore guilt. And she wore nothing. I waited until we had guests. A small dinner party with our closest couple friends.
Wine.
Music. Laughter. And betrayal baking quietly in the oven. I played the video. On the big screen. No warning.
No build-up.
Just a straight drop into hell. It was security footage from the hotel hallway.
Cameron. Ava. Kissing.
Groping. Disappearing into a room. Then another clip, her rubbing her belly in the hallway mirror. Text overlays.
Dates.
Time stamps. Evidence. Gasps filled the room. Cameron froze. Ava was not there, but she might as well have been. Her ghost haunted every inch of our house already. I looked at him with the calm of a woman who had already buried the love. "All this time, you told me you were trying," I said. He opened his mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. But I was done listening to words that came from a forked tongue. That night, I slept in the guest room. The next morning, I handed him a folder. Inside, divorce papers. A copy of all evidence. A paternity test requisition form. A list of everything I was taking with me. I did not cry. I did not scream. I simply told him this. "You did not break me, Cameron. You broke the idea of us. But the woman you thought would fall apart? She no longer exists. You killed her with your lies. And this woman in front of you? She forgives you. But she also never wants to see your face again." He begged. On his knees,
Actual tears.
hands clutching at my waist like a drowning man. But I had already swum to shore. I moved out 2 weeks later. I rented a loft in the city, opened a new photography studio, and started a podcast called Unloving You, The Truth Between the Vows. It blew up. Turns out a lot of women have forgiven liars. Too many times. But very few ever tell the whole truth about what that does to your soul. Ava messaged me once. She said, "I never meant for any of this to happen." I replied with one sentence. "You can have him. He already belonged to anyone but me." She never wrote back. Months passed. I stood in front of a mirror, wearing a red dress that hugged my curves and confidence. No ring on my finger. No lies in my bed. Just peace. And peace is the sexiest revenge. I still see Cameron sometimes. In the city. At mutual events. He looks older now. A little tired. Still handsome. But no longer dangerous. I do not hate him. I do not love him. I do not even pity him. I have simply outgrown the version of me who believed that love was supposed to hurt. Now I know better. Because real love does not ask you to bleed to prove your loyalty. And real forgiveness? It has teeth. It knows when to bite and when to walk away.